Sometimes a haunting can happen in the most unexpected of places.
In a most unlikely location, an ordinary toy store in Sunnyvale, California.
Unfortunately, today's story is fairly sad, but also very interesting. Now, we all remember in 2018 whenever Toys R Us shut down. But did you know that in 2018, Toys R Us did not only close its doors in Sunnyvale, California, but it also closed the chapter to a very famous haunting. Very famous haunting and a very bizarre haunting. Our story begins way before the store was even built in 1880. A traveling preacher from Sweden by the name of Johnny Johnson worked on a plantation. You see, Johnny had recently suffered a head injury, and he worked on this plantation in exchange for room and board. During Johnny's time on the plantation, he fell head over heels in love with the farmer's daughter, Elizabeth. And due to the fact that Johnny had his head injury and stuff like that, Elizabeth just didn't give him the time of day. And she quickly became annoyed by his advances.
Elizabeth.
Johnny, you have to stop writing me these letters.
I don't mean to upset you.
You have. And if I told my father, he would ask you to leave.
Wait, you don't know me. You barely knew I existed till I wrote those letters. How do you know you don't love me?
I feel nothing for you.
I won't rest until you marry me. Elizabeth, don't go!
One day, Elizabeth ran away to become married to a lawyer from the East Coast. Whenever Johnny found out this news, he was heartbroken. He began to chop wood angrily, until he accidentally slipped and hit his leg with his axe. Johnny then slowly bled to death by himself. Nearly 100 years later, in the 1970s, Toys R Us built a brand new store on top of the plantation. They, of course, were unaware of any history that the land had. And in the 1980s, the employees and customers of the store began to be terrorized by the spirit of Johnny. In fact, nearly every employee from 1980 on had their own story involving Johnny. Toys were moving on their own, products were being stacked oddly.
Upstairs we heard footsteps, very loud footsteps, thump, 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 and I looked around and counted 1, 2, 3, 4 to make sure we were all there, and we were all there, and I asked one of the employees, I said, let's go upstairs and check it out. He's all, no way, I'm staying right where I am.
The store couldn't keep employees.
Rumor has it there's ghosts in the storeroom. Welcome to Ghosts R Us. Can I haunt you?
In fact, even customers began to report that they were hearing a man yell the name Elizabeth.
Are you the manager?
Yes.
There's something wrong with your bathroom. The water comes on by itself. I turned the faucet off, but it came back on again. I think you need a plumber.
Oh, I'll call one right away.
After going through 6 general managers, the store finally reached out to a psychic by the name of Sylvia Brown.
This is a place in which they had lost, or reportedly had lost, 6 managers. So out of desperation, they called me and said, would you please come in because we think we have a ghost.
She was very professional and she had worked with the police recently, so they decided to call upon her to perform a seance and figure out what was going on. She was able to figure out what was happening. She also concluded that Johnny didn't know he was dead and was actually caught in a time warp. I hypothesized with the fact that this had to do with his 100th year anniversary of death. Maybe that's what triggered all of this to happen, I don't know. Only way to get rid of Johnny was to convince him that he was dead. So one night after closing, all the employees stayed behind for a seance along with Sylvia and a camera crew. Johnny made his presence known, and she explained to him that he had passed away.
John, you can find Beth if you just go on to the other side. You really are caught in a time framework.
The incredible thing is that the enlarged infrared photograph shows a shadowy figure standing at the back of the picture that does not show up in the photographs taken with high-speed film.
She also explained to him that the only place that he could probably find Elizabeth is if he too went towards the light. And for whatever reason, he didn't. And up until the store closed in 2018, the employees kept being terrorized by the ghost of Johnny. In fact, Sylvia Brown even claimed to have gone back to the store with her granddaughter just as a shopper and even had an interaction with Johnny again.
Someday, of course, he will leave. Maybe Beth will come for him, some loving entity will grab him. He'll go on to the white light, but until that time, he still walks up and down these halls looking for his lost love.
I don't know if any of you guys have ever worked in a haunted area, but I used to work in a haunted Sonic, and man, I have some stories to tell. But that's a completely different video. There's some people I need to talk to before I even do that. I almost got in trouble for my last Sonic video. But yeah, guys, I hope you like this story. I actually tried to get in touch with Sylvia Brown, the psychic from the story, because I figured that would be a really cool podcast episode, but unfortunately she passed away back in 2013. So please like and subscribe and comment down below what your thoughts are or any ideas for future videos. I would really enjoy any feedback that you guys would give me, honestly. And as always, guys, be nice to each other.